We're going to talk about how Matt's palate is wrong and rye is okay, willing to help you learn about your palate. And that's the thing that I do really want to say, even though Matt is wrong, that words we're actually going to be talking today about palates and how everybody's is a little bit different and why Matt's wrong and I'm right. He's a rye guy now. He is definitely a rye guy.
I lost my rye guy card. I can't really say I'm not a rye guy anymore. Because
about the crazy finishes, man. Just listen to this, right? Barrel strength, non-chill filtered, single barrel straight rye, whiskey finished in new charred, 5 American white oak, Madeira, apricot, brandy, and rum cask. Like that's nuts. Yeah. And if you're drinking vodka straight, you're just trying to die or get fucked up. I'll take back what I said. It didn't taste like a bag of smashed assholes, but it definitely smelled like a bag of smashed assholes.
I can't get them close to my mouth without gagging. It's just like that I just can't do it. I mean, our group is actually like
turkey whores.
They're turkey whores.
You're a whore. Wear your whore makeup, you whore.
Is somebody in there?
Occupado. Filthy whore.
Most everybody on the mass side of our group have turned full turkey.
The math.
I can actually literally go and take a peated scotch, drink it, hate it, but I'm still going to actually drink it and appreciate what's behind that mossy, grassy, smoky Walmart bike tire aisle. I can get. I mean, and to be fair,
don't say to be fair. Hate when people say to be fair.
Oh, to be fair.
To be fair. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for episode 7, where me and John went head to head about French oak and rye and our palates. Even though he's wrong, and he'll say I'm wrong.
I schooled you, and you were actually just sad that I schooled you on it.
You did. You did correct me on a few things. Besides the fact that French oak still kind of sucks. But what's up, everyone? Matt from Wicked Whiskey Society,
and I'm John.
And we are back again with another Wicked Whiskey Society podcast, episode 7. So today, we're going to get into a conversation that me and John kind of go back and forth a lot on, about how French oak sucks, and he's a rye guy, but he's not.
I'm not a rye guy. No, you're missing this. We're going to talk about how Matt's palate is wrong, and rye is okay in just a simple Kentucky style rye. Okay, anything else than that, you're wrong. It's not good.
And then we're going to talk about how French oak sucks, but there are a few bottles that are pretty good. So basically, in
other words, we're actually going to be talking today about palates and how everybody's is a little bit different and why Matt's wrong and I'm right.
Let me start off by saying, because the original, again, I wouldn't say so much of an argument, but the back and forth that we have is the French oak. Well, actually, it actually goes before that, because when I first started my journey, I always said I'm not a rye guy, and I didn't like rye. All the rye I tried, I didn't like, and it was that earthiness, the grassy, minty. I didn't like it. It was just spice. So I just said I wasn't a rye guy, and again, my palate has developed crazy over the last year and a half. So now I'm actually getting into rye, and I'm actually appreciating those rye I didn't like. This is still not my go-to. Like, I like, barely legal rye. The Jack Daniel single barrel proof rye, the Roaming Rose that Burlington just did is 100 proof rye. Not 100 proof, but it's straight 100% rye. It's just straight rye, and I actually like that bottle a lot. But we'll get into that too. But the argument that we had back and forth was how I don't like. I own about 15 bottles, and I'm actually buying
that doesn't mean
rye.
anything, because I actually have about 20 or so bottles of
Yeah.
ryes too, but that's a different story.
But I'm buying them and enjoying them.
Yeah.
But again, so the whole French oak thing, I don't like French oak, and I think my first time having one was the Maker's Mark 46, and it was just straight like earthy. It was like flowers. It was like eating a rose. It was just floral. I didn't like it. And then I tried the Architect. Maybe it would be something different. Didn't like it. Hated it. I was like, all right, I fucking hate French oaks. And then they came out with the Penelope Architect Creme Brulee, which I didn't want to buy at first because, what the fuck? Like French oaks? No, I'm all set. And then I started getting, reviews on it and seeing how it was like really sweet. And so I said, fuck it. I bit the bullet. I bought a bottle and I liked it. I didn't realize that it was so it's not a French oak barrel. And this is the argument. It's made with French oak staves. It's not a full French oak barrel. So, yeah, you're
I'm
saying
just
that
looking
I
it up.
like French oak when I don't. But, and that's what's crazy too, is with the palates changing, because I just bought a bottle of the Deep from Reveries at the Jay West seminar at Burlington Wine and Spirits, and now this is a full French oak barrel. And this bottle is actually really good. And when I first had the sample of it, I was kind of blown away because Jay West had actually mentioned himself he's not a French oak guy either. He doesn't like French oaks, and he kind of bit the bullet, bought a barrel, blended some stuff together, and came out with that. And that bottle is really good.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of facts, and you're gonna hate me for this.
I
And
keep typing on
so I'm gonna lay some facts. I'm gonna
Mm.
actually be proving you wrong, and I'm not gonna actually say that you're wrong or not. But the standard Architect features a foundation of 20% rye Penelope mash bill finished in French oak staves. Okay? So the standard Architect, French oak staves.
Right.
Creme brulee. Oak influences specifically. Reviewers note that the delivering of the distinct upfront custard notes, heavily vanilla beans, and all that stuff also made French oak staves. So the Architect that you don't like and the creme brulee that you do like are made the same way. It's just a barrel pick. So it's just the creme brulees are just specialty barrels that they actually pick and pull out to actually, because they actually have a flavor profile that they were going for, and then they put them in there. The same way with the creme brulee, the Penelope's marshmallow or whatever versus the toasted and all stuff. They're made the same way. It's just when they pick those specific barrels, they actually met something that they actually weren't expecting out of their regular releases. So it's not because one's finished in a French oak barrel and the other one's not. They're both made the same exact way. The creme brulees were just picked because they actually had a better flavor profile than the regular normal Architects. And if you look at the Architects, every batch is slightly different. There's batches on each of the Architects, and it's just what the luck of the draw that the creme brulee actually became a good bottle. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying
I
that
love this bottle.
it's a great bottle and they picked it right, but it's still a French oak made with French oak staves.
Now, what's crazy is that I've tried a few different actual just Architects, and they all kind of tasted the same, and I thought they sucked. I didn't like them at
Have
all.
you
They
actually
just weren't.
found somebody making or putting out a barrel picked Architect, a
I don't
store
think so.
picked Architect?
I know there was like an
Because
Architect New England one, I think.
I have a New England one too.
But
I
I
actually
haven't
have
tried it. But then again, the Maker's Mark 46, that's a French oak barrel, and I absolutely didn't like that one at all.
the regular 46 is basic. If you want a good 46 French oak and all stuff, you want the 46 cast strength.
That's good, yeah.
Okay, because that's the big difference. 46, they proof it down, and when you proof any French oak bottle down, and also you're bringing out more of like what you said before, and also some of those floral notes, some of those weird kind of like French oak tannins that are actually like notorious in a lot of the French the French wines and um, things that those French oak barrels are actually usually producing. You're going to get a lot of that. But the fun fact is that if you keep it at cask strength, you don't get a lot of that florals. You get a lot of what French oak is actually like known for, and it's the caramels, that creme brulee, the burnt sugars, and also the things that make French oak just such a good flavor profile. Again, and this is going to get into, everybody's palate is different. Enjoy what you like, how you like it, and that's fine. But the debate that we've always had is you don't like French oak, but now you have two bottles that you actually have that are actually French oak, that are higher proof French oak bottles that are actually like pretty damn good, and you're enjoying them.
Yeah.
What is the
Again,
creme brulee?
I'm going to get into this one after, and I love the creme brulee, and I actually have quite a few backups of it because I like it that much.
Yeah.
I what I don't like is, like, now that we've kind of debunked the whole. I always thought the original architect was a full French oak barrel. I didn't know
But
it was just staves. So thank you for
Penelope
correcting me
never
on that.
actually did. Yeah, never. Penelope never really did a French oak barrel. It's always been staves. It's always been like that. Just the same way that Maker's Mark does it, and also most of their finishes are oak staves, and that's why when you actually look at keepers or the hearts and all stuff, it's 10 American oak staves or 10, or when you're looking at the cast strength or the 45, it's French oak staves, because most of these master distillers and all stuff want to actually have a little bit more control over their barrels, and so using staves allows them to put staves in, take them out when they feel that it's ready, but still leave the actual barrels alone.
Right.
And so that's
So what
it's,
sucks is going to be, realistically, when I go to buy something that's a French oak, because now that I don't want to say I'm developing a French oak fucking palate. Um, but again, that's awesome about the evolution of your palate throughout the years of drinking, developing this kind of throughout this hobby. But it's like, I don't want to take the risk of buying a bottle that's French oak now. Like, I'm always hesitant when I hear French oak. But then
and that's the same reason why I have over 1,000 bottles in my bar, is because I buy bottles and not knowing whether or not I'm going to like them or not, because I didn't have what you have now.
Right.
Back when I started this, I had to actually like either crack a bottle or travel to different states and find places that actually like cracked them open or whatever. I didn't
Trying.
have friends and all stuff that actually had a collection. So I couldn't just go out and try or like try things. You're in an advantage starting in your journey with having a community like the bourbon community that we actually have now.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't have this 5-10 years ago. This was
Yeah.
something that just within the past few years, since probably COVID, the bourbon community really kicked up and started going crazy. And so
So,
now you have the ability to actually get samples sent to you. You have the ability to come over to a place like this and actually try something,
well, that's
and
what I was
without
gonna get
actually
at.
having to buy it. And that's the cool thing about you learning your palate. I had to learn the hard way. I'm teaching you in your new journey. Well, I don't think it's new anymore because you're catching up.
I
But
am.
your palate's adjusting, and everybody's palate changes over the time. There's perfect examples of, I never really cared for for scotches or whatever, but then I started learning a little bit more about them and all stuff, and they started growing on me. Now I can actually literally go and take a peated scotch, drink it, hate it, but I'm still going to actually drink it and appreciate what's
Right.
behind that mossy, grassy, smoky Walmart bike tire aisle. I can get past that. Same with the ryes. The ryes, I don't really care for a ryes. I'll make them in cocktails. I do sip the Jack Daniels ones. I do sip a couple of them that are Kentucky style ryes, but they're not my go-tos. And if you ask me, what do you think of this rye? I'm going to sip it, and if it has any hint of mint or dill or grassiness to it, I'm going to tell you it tastes like whistle pig. It tastes like something that a pig was like rolling around in the mud with. It's just wrong.
Right. It's
So,
wrong.
but I can still taste it. I can still try it, and I've grown to be able to do that. I still don't perform, so I still don't consider myself a rye guy because they're not my thing. Just like I'm not a peated Scotch guy. Just like you know, I'm not technically a gin guy. Okay,
Gin
nobody's
sucks.
a vodka, but nobody's a vodka guy. That's
Nobody's a
just
vodka guy. Nobody
that's a
enjoys
chick drink.
vodka.
Nobody enjoys it. They just because you're not enjoying it. You're enjoying all the other stuff that's actually mixed in with it.
Yeah. And if you're drinking vodka straight, you're just trying to die or get fucked up.
You're
Going back to kind of
disinfecting your shit.
summarizing what you were saying is how it's easier for me now because I was gonna say because we have somebody like John where you can just go to your Pop's bar and choose one of the 1,000 fucking bottles you have to develop your palate and see what you like. But going forward again, back to the ryes, you say you're not a rye guy, and this is another argument we go back and forth because I mean you do own, like you said, 20 something bottles of rye, and there are ryes that you like.
No,
So I guess I mean, would it be fair to say I'm not a French oak guy? I wouldn't say that.
I can, I can say I will concede to say that you're not a French oak guy, but I'll actually also say that you're wrong. And
So
French oak
I'll
is
agree that I
amazing.
can't say that I don't like French oak, but I'm not a French oak guy. If we can agree that you're not a French, I mean, you're not a rye guy, but you do like rye. You can't say you
Yeah.
don't like rye. There are ryes you do like.
Yeah, there are some ryes, and just like that, like you said, there are some French oaks that you like. So, you know, we can actually concede on that, I guess. But I still will never actually agree that I'm a rye guy.
Fair.
I'll drink pretty much everything.
Right.
Give me a rye, and I'll drink it. And if I go to your house and that's all you had, and you just handed me a rye, yeah, I'm going to enjoy it with you. Want to know why? Because it's not about what's in the glass. It's about sharing that glass or that glass with somebody. It's a preference. I'm not a big fan of it, but there's other than Balcones, there is no bad whiskey or Garrison Brothers.
Or Garrison Brothers.
Yeah, those are
Right.
not right.
Those are just, yeah. They're not. I haven't even really tasted Garrison Brothers. I've smelt Garrison Brothers, and that was enough. I'm
Well,
not trying to get on them again because everyone's palate is different. But
everybody's palate is
I
different.
just
Yeah,
know that it's not for me, and I don't care to
yeah.
try it.
Well, I've tried them, and I've had samples. I've actually given samples out of Garrison Brothers and to people that I actually thought had probably like weird and strange palates. One
Like
of our
Timu.
members, Timo, is Timu. His name is Timo.
Timu.
He has a really strange palate, and he
Yeah.
likes a lot of weird, strange things. And
He
I
always
actually
brings the
gave him.
craziest, most unique bottles. Where
And
like
some of the things I don't understand because I've tried some of the things and I don't know how he drinks those.
that's
But
what I
then
love
you
about
you
him
would
though. He
think,
brings some fun stuff, and you're just like, what the
oh,
fuck
he
is
does.
that? Like he brought one. It was like lemongrass. It tasted like lemongrass. I was like, what the fuck is this? I could not put a finger on it. I couldn't tell if it was a bourbon, a rye, single malt, a vodka, a gin. It was just all over the place, and it turned out to be
Yeah,
fucking Boss Hog Whistle Pig.
yeah, and it's hard. It's
I was
just
like, what the fuck?
um. I don't think there's anything that came out of Whistle Pig that actually is good either. But that's
Yeah,
my choice because they make a lot of ryes, and a lot of their ryes are very grassy, very
yeah. There's
one
that rye
notes.
forward that I don't like.
Yeah, they are definitely
Um,
a rye that's actually on the opposite end of the spectrum that I actually care for.
Right.
But I gave him Timo, 4 samples of Garrison Brothers of different ones from the small batch up to a couple of limited edition releases and all that stuff, and all of them were he couldn't even drink them. Yeah, there was one of them that he actually like took a sip and spit it right back out, and he said, "Nope." So there's
Are those the ones from
something
the
to say about
seminar?
that. Yeah, that was at the seminar.
Yeah. So those are the ones I just smelt out of the bottle, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't want that. Because he was trying to pawn them off
I
on
still
me.
have them. Yeah, I still have them if you want them.
No, I'm all right.
I can't.
I'm sure there's a couple of guys in our Discord group, some members that would love to try it or have it.
Oh, probably. If they want them, hit me up. I'll send you those things. Those are I don't think I'll ever open those anymore.
Going back
Yeah,
to like the
but
palate, though. I mean, again, it's just it's
But
you gotta
that's
be
the cool
patient.
thing. That is the cool thing about this hobby is it changes. It changes
does.
with you. It changes when you grow. Changes with simple foods that you eat. Everything, anything can actually like change the way your palate is, and
Right.
that's one of the reasons why I know we said this in one of our older or first podcasts. Is why I take dry weeks, or why I actually take a week off of not drinking
Yeah.
anything to reset my palate. So when I go back into things, I can try them with a new palate, a new, taste, lack of taste or whatever for these whiskeys. And I can start off even with some of the lighter, more like softer whiskeys that a lot of people ignore, like Irish whiskeys or some scotches that are sitting at 80 proof or whatever. And you get a whole new appreciation about your taste. The more
Right.
you get into your hobby, the more you actually get into this, into the whiskey journey, you're going to learn that your taste is going to start off with one thing, and it within a few weeks to a month, you're going to start off basically with like starter whiskeys, and you're going to end up actually like drinking hazmats. You're going to actually be enjoying those strange single malts or French oaks or ryes, or you're going to start enjoying those things the longer that you're actually in this and you appreciate what they are, how they're made. And I think that's the cool thing about our journey, this hobby that we're in. I hate calling it a hobby because hobbies, you put things together and you stick them up and you collect them, and this is not that. This is actually,
This community, it would, better way to
yeah,
put it,
it's a community.
But even going back to that, when I first started this journey again, my 30th birthday party, all my boys bought me some bourbons and whiskeys because they knew I liked whiskey, but I really wasn't into whiskey until a couple of years ago. And I had a bottle of Larceny, I had a bottle of Four Roses, small batch, I had an Elijah Craig small batch, and I had an Angel's Envy, and then I had like just regular random whiskeys. I thought they were all hot. I thought they all sucked. They were undrinkable. Like I couldn't drink them neat. I thought they were all just mixed drinks, like from 4 mixed drinks. And now I'm down. I don't like things that were normally finished in sherry casks or wine barrels. I didn't like those either. I'm getting down to the last little bit of my first Angel Envy that was gifted to me when I turned 30. I'm about to turn 36 next month, and I'm like upset because I'm like I'm actually kind of enjoying this bottle now. And that was the first one I ever got. And same with the Elijah Craig. I thought that was hot, and over the time, I've become quite the proof whore. I like the higher proof stuffs, and it's not so much because it's just a higher proof and what the effect of it does, but you get different. I feel like you get more complex notes and everything on the palate.
I think,
But then
yeah,
again, with lower proof, like things are just more mellow. I feel like I don't know. It's just high proof, low proof. You can tell different. Again, with the King of Kentucky blind that I did, it was like 5 proof points changed the entire bottle. So the batch 1, 2, and 3, it was just all between 5 proof points, and they were all different. So it's just
it has there's a lot going into the flavors of whiskey, and we could go into like a hell of a lot of details about, you know, whiskey, but the craft is not knowing exactly what you're going to be getting when you crack that bottle, because, especially if you're, drinking single barrels that are actually like, unique per barrel, or you're doing limited editions where they're actually making these whiskeys, or they're pulling these whiskeys out of specific barrels. The barrels, how they handle it, the water that they put in, everything changes the flavor of it. So you can go, and that's the beautiful thing about some of like the shelf or regular normal bottles that are out there from major distilleries like Old Foresters or Maker's Marks or whatever. The consistency in all of those batches, they strive to make sure that those are consistent until you actually get, so those will be always be the same. You can actually, and you'll taste it, and your palate may actually change over the time to the point where you start off and you look at that Old Forester 1910 and say that's a great bottle, which it still is. It's a great bottle,
That's
but
a
then you'll
constant filter.
yeah, but then
I'll
you'll
always have
actually
one.
like a few years down the road and all that stuff, you're actually drinking, you know, 1920s, which is a little bit higher proof, or you're drinking, you've switched over to Wild Turkeys or Russell's 13s or whatever. I mean, our group is actually like
Turkey whores.
they're turkey horse. Most
Eduardo,
everybody
Ian, Jason,
in the on
Timo.
the mass side of our group are have turned
We've actually
full
changed the
turkey.
Mass Facebook group name. It's Mass Holes. It's like Wicked Whiskey, Mass Hole Chapter, Turkey Horse.
Turkey horse. But
Yeah, they're all getting
the
into the Dusties, and which I mean,
but
the older the
it's
turkeys are good.
the
But I've never. But that's another thing is like I've never really been big in the turkey, and I think that's one thing I still kind of stand on. But then the Beacon and the Russell's 15 are
not even that. There's some
fucking
single
amazing.
barrel picks. There's some single barrel picks
I
that are
got
amazing.
I got a Russell's Private Select from Liquor Junction. But the thing is, it doesn't taste like a turkey. It's sweet. It's like candy, and that's
Yeah.
right.
See,
Where my palate is,
we
and
can we
it
can get
doesn't have
into
that funk.
turkey if you wanted to, but turkey is its own beast, just like Old
It is.
Forester, Brown Foreman stuff. Old Forester and Jack Daniels, they're each their own thing, and there's you know, when you actually open up a wild turkey, you're drinking a wild turkey. When you open up an
Absolutely.
Old Forester, you're actually drinking an Old Forester because they have flavor profiles.
Yeah,
If
the
you are
banana.
actually like drinking constantly higher proofs and things like that, you go back to those standard basic bottles, they're not going to
They're
be the
different.
same. They're
Right.
different than what you actually started with. And so that's the thing is, your palate, whether it's because you like a certain proof point or you like a certain tasting note or whatever, it's okay. It's okay to actually like those because it's your palate. It's not my palate. It's not anything else. So I may give you or anybody crap because they like, they like or don't like something. Like, I give Hal crap all the time, and they actually give me crap all the time for not
About the
liking
peated
peated
scotch and the
scotch
Belconis and
and the
how it,
Belcones and all of that stuff. But
how
to
you like
be
rye
truly
and
honest and to be 100% transparent, I'm just giving you shit because it's fun.
Right.
It's
of
not
course.
because that's what I believe in. Is because everybody's palate is different, and that's the one thing that I love about this community is there is so much out there. There's so many people willing to help you learn about your palate, and
Right.
that's the thing that I do really want to say. Even though Matt is wrong, that your palate is your palate, and you are allowed to actually enjoy it how you'd like it. Some people love putting ice in their whiskey. And I do it once in a great while too. It
I was gonna
depends on the
say
whiskey.
I kind of felt like that over the weekend. I made a couple old fashions, and I just
It's
didn't feel like drinking it neat. I wanted something cold, but I wanted to kind of continue to drink like
yeah,
whiskey. So I
it's
just I threw some on ice and whatever. I drank it. I didn't let it sit there and water down, but like I drank it. It was cold. It
no,
was
yeah,
good.
and it's how you like it. You want to actually make a cocktail, make an old fashioned, just throw Coke in a pappy, whatever you want to do. That's your palate. That's what you want to taste. Go right ahead and do it. We may actually like raise an eyebrow and actually like smack you for it, but
Speaking
it
of
is the way you want to drink it.
speaking of which, I think it was the 4th of July. Well, the 3rd of July, I went over to Steve's, who is a member of the Wicked Whiskey Society. For those who don't know, and his uncle was drinking a looked like what it would be like a Jack and Coke, like it was a Coke mixed with something. And in front of it, I saw a bottle of King of Kentucky, and I instantly kind of cringed, and I was like, "Don't tell me that's." Yeah, I know it was. He's like, "Yeah, I probably put about 4 to 5 ounces in there," and he just fucking dumped Coke on it. I was like, hey, whatever, man. If it's good, that must have been hell of a, bourbon and Coke, but
That's a
I was
very
like,
expensive,
oh,
whiskey and Coke right
oh
there.
yeah, yeah. But you know what?
Yeah,
Fuck, he enjoyed it. I was like, you better be finishing that though. Like, but hey, if that's how
yeah,
you drink it, that's how you drink it. Whatever,
yeah,
man. Power to you. But I did kind of cringe a little bit inside. I was like,
yeah.
ugh, fuck. All right, yeah, it's all right. Yeah,
Yeah, but
sorry to
it's
be.
the same thing as some people like tequila, some don't. Some people like gin and would rather actually have a gin cocktail and all stuff. It's like I don't think there's anybody out there that really likes drinking gin neat. It's a cocktail thing. It's
Yeah, if you like drinking floor cleaner, Pine Sol, like
no,
maybe.
let's see. Not all gins are like that.
I've yet.
I
I
have.
mean, I know you've got. I got it. I
I,
don't know if I want to, but I've never liked gin. And again, I've said it before. I've always wanted to try to like it, and I always try to drink one for my mom around, her birthday or the day she passed, just in her honor, because she loved gin, and I could never understand why. And I try, and every time I do, I'm just like, what? I can't do it. Sorry, mom.
well, there's
Can't.
there's it's the type of gins because there's a lot of different types of gins, and that's the problem. There's a lot of we can go down this rabbit hole if you want to do for like your palate. Um, but with gin, there's no real heavy regulations like there are in whiskey. Where there's actually, in
Certain
order
ages
for it to
and
be
all
a
that stuff.
bourbon, it has to be made a specific way. In gin, there's not. It just basically to be classified as a London dry or an American dry or Plymouth gins. They all have their own kind of specific regulations that they follow, but gin is basically a distilled spirit, kind of like vodka, that's actually has botanicals infused in with them. Whether it's in the column stills or it's actually like a little a bundle of like herbs, like you use to make pot um, pot roast or something like that, and you throw in a bag of herbs into your sauce or whatever. It's um, you're just infusing some vodkas. So it's basically a vodka that's infused with a lot of different herbs. And there's no
Okay, I never
regulations
knew
on
that.
what they can use. So there's some actually the only thing that gin needs to have is some formula of juniper in with the botanicals. So some are very light, some are very heavy. Things like Tanqueray uh, or
That was my
some of
mom's.
those and all stuff, they're very pine sol flavor type and all stuff, is because they're very heavy in that juniper. But there's a lot of lighter gins if you actually go and take a look at even like Hendrix. Hendrix is a great sipping gin. It doesn't have as much juniper, but it has a lot of other botanicals. So it's just
People actually drink gin neat.
yeah, they do. I don't know how.
Uh,
A lot of people, they actually drink it and they actually try it, but they actually, when they're sipping it and they're actually enjoying it, it's usually with tonic water. So it's a gin and tonic. Or they'll actually make it into a cocktail, like a bee's knees or something like that. But that's where the majority of people that drink gin use it, is either in a gin and tonic or in a cocktail.
Right.
There's very few people out there, maybe the connoisseurs, the ones that are actually trying to learn things like what I did and all stuff, where you sit down and you actually sip a gin neat. There's a cocktail that I actually just made for Hal and his wife and the people that were over there. I brought over and made a elder fashion, not an old fashioned with an ed at the end, but an elder fashion, which is basically gin, elderflower, syrup, and bitters, made just like an old fashioned, but it's using gin and elderflowers as the sweetener, and it's a good drink. It's actually like a pretty decent, easy to sip drink if you know how to do it right. So I don't know why we're a whiskey group and we're talking
Let's get
about
off the
gin.
gin
I should be
topic,
shot.
because that gin
But
sucks.
it all has about it's all about your palate, your taste, and this is one thing that we need
Again,
to.
if you like gin, you're wrong.
No. If you like gin, you're usually like a chick. So
Yeah, right. I know a couple of people that really love dry martinis and with the olives and stuff. And that's another thing, is I hate olives and I hate.
I can't stand olives, and there
I could
are
do
good
black olives and
cocktails.
tacos and stuff, but as far as those
No,
green, my wife loves
no.
them. And she always tries to feed them to me, and every time I eat them, I just cringe. Ugh.
All olives. The only thing I can actually do with olives is actually cook with olive oil. There is nothing good about olives other than the olive oil. Okay,
Hey,
I
it's your
can't even
palate.
literally if you ask my wife and all stuff about me and olives, I can't get them close to my mouth without gagging. It's just like that I just can't do it.
What's going on? We just
Yeah,
sold
let's
half our
talk about what's
barrel of
going on.
Well, we just sold half our bottle, well, half our yield, anyways, of the dark arts pick that we did, which you did a fucking fan. I'm so glad you brought this because, again, I know we were talking about it earlier, but I've got literally people calling me and texting me and messaging me, telling me how good this bottle was, and I've said it. I even hate saying it now because I'm sick of hearing myself say it. I'm not trying to be biased because it's our pick. This bottle is so unique. And what's the craziest thing about it is that there's no finish to this whatsoever. But then you're
Yep,
getting grilled pineapple, you're getting coconut, you're getting those beachy, margarita, I mean, not margarita, but pina colada vibes.
pina colada vibes. Yep.
And it's just such a banger. I'm glad I have a backup. I have people calling me who bought a bottle that want a backup. So I'm going to have to go mule some of those out. Or, I'm going to have to go meet up with them and get them their second bottle and stuff. But I mean, I said from the beginning, from the first sample, that I don't think this is gonna last, and it's not, and it's
No,
really hasn't fully hit the shelves yet. I don't believe. If you go there,
I
you
think
can
he's.
buy it, you can ask for it, it's there, but it's not on display yet. I don't think he has a spot for it.
I think yeah, it was supposed to be sometime this week or whatever that he is actually going to be putting it up. He may
But
actually put up a his own social media post about it,
right.
about putting it out there.
And I think once he does
But
that, they're gonna go.
oh,
I
they're
think they're
they're
gonna fly
gonna
off the
go.
shelf.
I mean, and to be fair,
To
that
be fair,
to be fair, um, they are. It's a great bottle. It's not a cheap bottle. And by no means, it is a premium whiskey. It is actually a specific barrel pick, and it's not a cheap bottle.
it's not.
But
It's
that
definitely
being
one of the most
said,
expensive bottles I've picked. I've bought too. You know what I mean? And I bought it
it's
obviously
not
because
mine.
it was our pick.
I've bought way more expensive
Yeah,
bottles,
I know you have.
but
But for me,
but it's
that's usually a little high for my taste. But I mean, I
I've
tasted it
always
and it
and
makes sense to why.
the weird thing
I'm gonna get
is,
into this
and
too,
to
by the
be
way. I'm gonna drink some
okay,
French oak.
we'll get into that bottle next. That's another fun bottle.
What, the deep?
Yeah. We'll get into that one, but I want to say that this dark arts. For the longest time, I had a problem with companies like Dark Arts, with like Good
Right.
Times, like
Yep.
River Roots, and Rare Characters, not because they were actually bad whiskeys. It's they put out finishes, they put out barrels, they put out things so much and so often that they're drowning the actual market, causing it to be way overpriced for what they are. And so
There's
I've
just so
always had
many of
an
them.
there's so many of them, but they're all expensive. They're all high priced bottles. Um, there are
Correct.
some dark arts that are actually in this 60, 70, $80 range and all stuff, but the
Yeah.
majority of them are 120 or more.
Well, that's the same
So
thing with River Roots. River Roots is really expensive. I don't think I've seen a cheap River Roots, and that's all
right.
MGP
Same
also.
with Rare Characters and
Yeah.
Good Times. They started off being a cheap bottle that was actually like easy to get. Now it's actually like most of those bottles are actually like outrageously expensive for stupid, crazy finishes and all stuff and blends that some are good and some are not. So it's
I got people in my family who have autism, and it was more of a meaningful bottle. But again, it wasn't cheap. I think I paid $120 with shipping. But I haven't cracked it yet. I heard it was okay, but then I've heard some Good Times weren't so good.
well.
But
So I got some here.
I got a
These
couple.
are I got a
I love
couple.
the
Now,
Christmas.
and then now these ones, these are old bottles because I stopped buying them because of this, and they're so old that they're dusty. But these were back in the days when our group actually had a member of our group that started the original group. His name was the Bourbon Santa. So that's why these are Christmas themed. This one is apple pie. It is a single barrel straight bourbon finished in apple brandy and amberana casks. Okay. Um, Supposed to be apple pie. All I can taste is cinnamon on that. This one, it's one of ours and all stuff. It's Mexican vanilla amberana, which is our pick. Was Santa's waffle cone is what we called it.
Speaking of
It's
that,
again, it's bourbon whiskey finish in Mexican vanilla and amberana casks. Very sweet, very sugary, very
not to
horrible one.
not to cut you
Um,
off or anything, but I was actually just on a live last night on Instagram. His Instagram handle is dopamine chasing bourbon. If you guys don't follow him, go follow him. He's a good dude. But my buddy Sean there had like I don't know, at least more than 10 different good times, probably even 15. And he was going through them himself. He had the Mexican vanilla, he had the Santo Christmas ones, and there was just like so many different finishes. Um, Kind of rolling into like the community again, man. Like I haven't tried a lot of those, and he's gonna send me a bunch of samples.
yeah,
And let me try
these
those
things
out.
they're novelty bottles, and that's what all good times I feel are. Um, this one was actually like I actually got because I thought it was going to be good. It's a vanilla strawberry. Okay, it's basically uh,
It's definitely eye
I've
catching. I mean, I love vanilla and I love strawberries.
yeah, limited rare release and all stuff. It's a MGP that's actually finished with Mexican vanilla and strawberry brandy barrels. Okay, but
So that's what I was gonna ask, like the finish on it. So like, what makes it strawberry vanilla? Does it taste like strawberry
that's the
vanilla? Is that just the
brandy.
note you get, or is it?
It's brandy made with strawberries because brandy needs to be made from fruit, and
Right.
so it can use any fruit and all
So
stuff.
it's the
In
brandy made from strawberries, and then the vanilla they
that
add
they actually finished
Mexican
it, and then
vanilla.
they actually removed it out of the barrel, and then they put this bourbon in those barrels with. And Good Times is very notorious about this, and you can actually like yell at me all you want for those good time lovers all you want, but a lot of those uh, brandy barrels still have brandy left in them when they actually dump the MGP. So they're not actually getting all of that flavor from the barrels. They're getting from stuff that's left over in the barrels. And then they add the Mexican vanilla or whatever. They add that to it. So they can't actually call it a bourbon and all that stuff because it's not, you're adding stuff to it. So it's,
Right.
there's a lot of shady and weird stuff with these. And it's one of those things that's why I actually don't really care for them. And to get back to my point and all stuff, I never really cared for dark arts because they were actually like along the same lines. They were pushing out a lot of bottles. They were pushing out a lot of finishes and other things. And I bit the bullet and bought one bottle of the American single malt, and that turned into a big fiasco because I actually got a tainted bottle, and
we've talked
bad.
about that on a previous podcast. And again, that back to the whole palate thing, man. I don't like single malts, and that's a hill that I'll stand on. Except the first one I ever liked was that Dark Arts pick from Burlington Wine and Spirits, where it tasted like peach rings. It tasted nothing like a single malt. And then we had the one at your house that tasted like a bag of asshole.
The same bottle that we actually got that had that beautiful peach ring. I got a tainted bottle. I went to Dark Arts when we were picking this, and they still had bottles of that there that they were selling at their bar. Cracked it open, tried it, tastes exactly what it's supposed to taste like. Really fresh, clean peach rings. It was a beautiful single malt.
So I'll take back what I said. It didn't taste like a bag of smashed assholes, but it definitely smelled like a bag of smashed assholes.
It smelled well,
it smelled
I think
funky,
it's
man.
what it is, and everybody that actually like has tried it that knows about it can tell that it actually has a rum funk a Jamaican rum funk finish to my bottle that actually has that high ester kind of funk to it. If you could get past that, then yeah, you get peaches and those nice fruit flavors, but it's that initial high ester funk that you get in Jamaican rum that it hit with. So that tainted me. The idea of, Dark Arts pushing so many things out and also, but going there and actually like sampling all of these bottles, there were some of those samples I didn't care for. A lot of us didn't care for. That we had to literally tell them no. That's a big 100% no. But there was some bottles that were just fire. They hit. And this is one of them. And it made me actually like appreciate everything that they're doing. I still don't like the actual motto of pushing everything out that they can. They're getting huge and they're pushing a lot of things out. It's not my vibe. I like the smaller craft distillery type things that, you go out, find, and it's, once they're gone, whatever. That's great. But, Dark Arts, they push so many of these things out there. And so, again, I was hesitant until we found this bottle. And this bottle changed a lot for me because I did not think that you can get a straight bourbon to have any kind of these notes in it. Because without a finish. Because what makes that taste like that? And all they did was put it into a barrel and it's MGP, put it in barrel and let it sit in different warehouses. And it's cask strength at 114.92. So almost when we tasted it, it was at 115. It went down just a few points or whatever, but it's still a freaking amazing bottle. And
it really
how
is.
to get that way? And it's unfinished. It's a single barrel.
I mean, I know I've said it before again too. I continually sound like a broken record, but that's another reason why I love this whole journey is just because how interesting it's the science of it. Like, how does wood make a liquid taste like fucking pineapple?
Yeast. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to
it's just
also
weird,
do with
like
yeast.
The mash bill, the wood, the aging, where it sits, where in the warehouse it is, what's the temperature. It's just such an interesting hobby.
It's everything
Again, not talking.
from the wheat to corn to the rye to the yeast that they're using to ferment it.
That
it's
too,
everything.
the different percentages of the mash bill. You could have a 61% corn, and then you can have in a different one a 62% corn, and you can just go up and down a level of malted barley, wheat, and you come up with two completely different barrels. Crazy.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right. So enough bragging about my pick. We've done what, like 3 freaking podcasts about this so far.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure people are sick of hearing about it, but it's just, I don't know. It's hard not to talk about. It's exciting. That's another thing. It's just like
it
this
is
is our
exciting.
first big pick. It's our first thing that's actually hit a shelf in a store, like a liquor store, where you can walk in, see our name. It's just, I don't know, it's cool. It's an exciting feeling.
Our first one was a local distillery. Our very first pick was a local distillery, and the only way you really could get it is to actually buy it from one of us, or go to the distillery itself and buy it there,
right?
Or go to one of the farmers markets that they were set up at to actually buy it from Adam or whoever was actually set up there. And so it was really hard to actually, get that bottle's name out there. This one is actually, it's not even on the shelves yet, and we're
down
almost
to
40 bottles sold.
Yeah, we're a little over 48. There was 48, but I'm gonna go buy a couple more tomorrow. It will probably about 45 bottles left ish. And again, I mean, we're at such a respected store. Kamarth is such an awesome person, such a well-respected guy. You know what I mean? He's not out there just putting out bullshit or talking shit just to get you in and buy stuff. Like, he's a good dude. He's genuine.
And that's the cool thing about that is
to see our bottle in such a store like that, like such a respected store, and it's just, I don't know. Again, it's just exciting. It's a good feeling, and I know he's got a team of people that he does this with, and his brother does this with, and they've done this 1,000 times, and they're probably I wouldn't say they're sick of it because it's such a fun experience, but
they do it all the time. They do it 2, 3, 4 times a year.
I'm all giddy over this. It's just, I love it. It's such a, I'm like a little schoolgirl. I'm like,
so,
anyways.
So yeah. So do we want to talk about what's coming up, or do you want to talk about the deep?
Since we're kind of talking about picks, let's talk about what's coming up real quick. I mean, there's nothing really set in stone at the moment.
There's nothing set in stone.
It's just talk right now. Kamarth did talk about, because we did so well with you did so well with the pick that we just did, and it's sold so well, and it's moved, and it was just a banger that we're already talking about another pick, and I know you put up a poll, so we're in between a bunch of different ones, but we're looking at Fiddler, Nashville.
ASW Fiddlers, Nashville Barrel Company.
I said if the Nashville, if we can do a hickory finish one like the one Hal has, I'm all for that one. I know Fiddler isn't around here a lot, and you don't see that a lot, so we're all kind of leaning towards that too. Plus, something a little cheaper too that more people can afford and actually drink and
this is we're just in talks, so we're not really set in stone and anything and all stuff, but we're talking about first. I don't want to be, or I don't want it to actually fall onto one person again, because the stress of whether or not we were going to sell this and all stuff, all on that one person's shoulders and all stuff, was kind of stressful. So I wanted to make sure that it's actually a group project, a group pick. So we're looking for, first off, our criteria is it has to be something, or the next one that we do has to be something that's actually priced under $100 for, to on the shelf at $100 or less. That way it's a little bit easier for other people to actually buy it and, swallow that, especially if we do it at any time during holiday seasons or anything like that. Nobody's going to want to actually go and spend, almost $200 on a bottle.
Right before Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So we're looking at that's one criteria. The second criteria is because of how our group is and how, nobody actually has the ability all the time to be able to get up and uproot and actually like go down to Kentucky or go down to Tennessee or Georgia or wherever to do a barrel pick at this distilleries. We need to actually pick a distillery that will send us samples that we can actually try and our group can try. So they actually we have to pick a couple of our founding members, or not founding members, but core members, to actually get together with the samples, try them out, and then pick the ones that we actually like and go from there. Hopefully we actually get another banger like the Dark Arts one. Or, I've done a Georgia Heartwood fiddler Georgia Heartwood pick
See,
with
that would
my
be
other
cool too,
group.
because you don't see a lot of those around here, which would be cool, and
There's
I think would
there's
again, I'm
there's
not
a
trying to
couple of
just
them,
like
but there's
sell.
not a lot.
Like I don't want to do this just to like sell, because we're not making money off this, and I'm sure Kamarik is making money, but it's like I'm not doing it. I'm doing this for the experience, and I want to bring out good bourbons to people because I love to see people's
That
reaction and like how they
that's the,
enjoy this stuff. And
yeah, that's the cool thing is our with our hobby, when you actually get to a point like most influencers out there that are actually like are doing this and they're getting barrel picks and all that stuff. A lot of them are actually like working with online retailers or whatever to actually get them to their influencers, masses, and all stuff. We're small. We're working with a local store that is actually amazing, that is actually willing to work with us to get, again, not really to make us any money because we're not making any money. We're just going there picking good bourbon to actually like
just
share it with
enjoy,
the
yeah,
masses.
right.
Not mass holes, but masses.
But yeah, that's the thing is like I like to see their reactions, and I like to put out good bottles, and I like to like that people can enjoy it. And again, with
Yeah.
Fiddler, you don't see a lot of that out here. You can't just go to like a store and I mean, I'm sure you can, but
I know you
like
can.
you
I
could
know you
still
can because I do have one from
yeah, but I
Liquor
like
Junction.
you don't see it a lot. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
it's not in this area. Not a pick, not a store pick. Anyways,
right,
you can
right.
find like the soloists, or you can find a couple of like the green eggs or whatever those weird publicity bottles that are out there. You can find regular Georgia Heartwoods, but it's really hard to find picks of them in this area. And so I think that's would be a good one. Nashville Barrel Company, again, you don't see a lot of those. We're also hinting towards or looking at maybe a Riveries, with Take Jay West,
Yeah, that would
because
be cool too, man. He's a great guy.
um, so there's also an opportunity to have a couple of us go down to Tennessee and do a Jack Daniels pick. So there's a
I love
lot of
that. That's
talk
again, that's on the
about
bucket list.
it's they're in the they're in discussions. There's nothing in also because again with Jack Daniels you have to go to the distillery, you have to go there
I'm all
and
for that.
do the actual barrel pick there. So we need to make sure that we plan ahead for that because not everybody can actually just take time off and actually go down there and do that,
Right.
and or afford to actually do that because it's not cheap to actually go down there. But they're in the works. They're in the future. Right now, again, we're looking at things that are actually like affordable for everybody, that are going to be a good bottle, that are actually going to be, that taste great, that we can actually like be proud to put our name on. Because again, I'm seeing a lot of on Instagram, things like that, people that have actually already gotten our bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Members of the Wicked Whiskey Society,
Yep.
that have actually like already gotten a bottle. They're doing reviews already out there
Yep.
for it, and
Well,
everybody's
whiskey
speaking really
Brian.
highly about it. Yeah, they're speaking highly of it, and this is
Yeah,
what I actually like. That makes me happy that
it
I
does.
actually did something. I did a good job, and
You did a good job. Good job.
and then
Good
you
job, Tom.
guys, yeah, did a good job, a
Good
good job.
boy. No, but
um,
even to shout them out, give them a quick shout out, man. Like Whiskey Recon, Rich, who runs that account. He got his bottle. He likes it. He did a live earlier, and he loved it. Brian from Floor Whiskey did a review on it, and he loves it. Two Fools, One Bourbon, Matt and Justin. I think Matt did his review. Justin didn't drink his yet, or vice versa. Um, I I forget who runs the account, but they did it. They liked it. And then AJ, a buddy of mine that I've been talking to, he has an Instagram account, and he's the one who actually called me earlier to say that, hey, you need to go get me another bottle because this bottle's awesome. So shout out to all of them. Shout out to everyone else who's bought in a bottle and is reviewing it. Again, I wasn't trying to be biased. I wasn't lying to you when I told you this bottle is it's worth the money, and it's definitely got those beach vibes. Like, we weren't lying about that, and it's been pretty consistent.
yeah,
I haven't heard anyone saying, no, I don't get any of those vibes. I don't get any coconut. I don't get pineapple. Like, what are you talking about? No, it's exactly what we tell you, what it is.
yep, yep.
And
And
then what I was going to mention too is for the people who are still listening, and if you want to mention, we can mention the Discord. If you pass the vibe check, want to reach out to one of us and figure out how to get on there and try to become a member so you can keep up to date with what we're doing. We'll send you a link.
yeah, reach out to us. It's not a public Discord server. It's actually it's made specifically for Wicked Whiskey Society. So in order to actually be added to the Discord, you have to actually know one of us from the
Right.
actual group. You have to actually be active with one of us. I mean, you can't just be like, oh, hi, I actually saw you on Instagram. Can I be a part of your member group? And also, no, we actually have to have some kind of, again, be
Validation.
part of a community. You got to be a part of the community
Right.
to actually to join the Wicked Whiskey Society. We do
Not
have the
some just random
opportunities.
follower. Yeah, like if you have
Yeah.
somebody that can vouch for you, and you're a good person, you're about the community, and you want to join us and get in on this and be a part of it and have fun with this, absolutely, we'll get your link out to you. But
Even
said,
join
man,
in or log into our Facebook page. Get in there, start actually talking and chatting in our Facebook group.
follow
That's
YouTube,
actually
we're on
there.
Spotify,
Yeah,
Instagram. You know what I mean? Follow us and reach out to
follow
us and
us,
talk to us. And you
reach
know what I
out to
mean?
us,
If you
talk
pass
to
the
us.
vibe
Yeah,
check,
yeah.
let's get you guys in and then we'll have some fun with this.
Yeah, let us grow. Well, the more we grow, the bigger and better bottles we can do. There's the bigger and better projects and things that we can actually do. You've seen it. You've seen it happen with a lot of different influencers out there.
Right.
A lot of YouTube or Instagram big named influencers started off as small little groups like us. Going out there and actually putting our faces out on social media and actually saying, hey, this is what we're interested in, this is what we want to do. The more support we get from you, the more community we build around us, the better we do, and the more we can bring to you, the more that we can actually uh, give you better content, get you better merchandise out there. Throw out our shirts or hats and coasters, and eventually Glencairns and all the merch that you can think of. We can't do that without the support from our community. So
Right.
kudos to those that are actually following us. And
Yeah,
I
they're
hope
amazing,
that
man. This community is awesome. We've got such a great following, and the clique that we have on Instagram and the whiskey group that I have, the chat that we have on Instagram, just a bunch of solid people, just some good people. And this is a good segue into the next subject too. Is with the fundraiser and everything coming up, I've got so many donations already from people. Like, I've got bottles. We've got gift baskets. We got gift certificates. We got a George T. Stagg. I've got distilleries reaching out to give me some crazy special bottles. This is going to be a good time. And I got people coming from Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, Rhode Island, like all over the place. And these are people that I either haven't even met, I don't know through a hole in the wall, have just talked through Facebook, Instagram, social media, but they're just, you know what I mean? They're about it. They're giving us bottles. I've got Brian from Floor Whiskey again. Shout out to you again, man. Like he, without hesitation, sent me a bottle of VH Taylor Small Batch. You know what I mean? Like, please put this in the fundraiser. He can't make it, unfortunately, but let me contribute. You know what I mean? And if same
Mhm.
goes out to any of you guys. If you ever did like a fundraiser and you needed us, just let us know. Reach out to us, and we'll pay. Again, pour it forward, as I say, because that's what the group, the fundraiser's called. But let us pour it forward, and we'll send you guys something. You know what I mean? This community is awesome. But let's get into the fundraiser and let's talk about what's coming up with that.
Yeah, that's actually another fun thing that we're working behind the scenes trying to actually get it put together. It's coming up quick. It's going to be
It's
there in
like
a
2
month and a
months.
half or so.
Yeah, something like that. It is coming up quick.
So again, Matt's already discussed about all of the barrels or the bottles that we get donated with that we're going to be raffling off and doing this. We're looking to do specific things. Still up in the air, a couple of things. We got to get the logistics down of licensing and insurance, because if we do it outside of the VFW location that we're doing it, Massachusetts has specific laws, and so we're wanting to do it legally. We want to do it professionally because
The
this
right
is an
way.
actual fundraiser for ALS. This is actually to help Matt's brother-in-law battle, this terrible disease. So we want to make sure that we're doing it, in accordance to the law, and that everything is actually going to be up and up and legit. And so we don't want to just be, throwing things out there and like sneaking, raffles and things like that
Right.
out there, because again, we don't want to do anything illegal, and actually get, the ALS GoFundMe page to be shut down. I mean, that would be horrible.
Yeah,
So
right.
again, we're working on licensing, we're working on insurance, because we want to actually have an outdoor gathering of food, a whiskey flight that's actually going to be there. Hopefully,
Yep.
again, this is all pending licensing and insurance and what we can do, but we're going to actually have drinks. We're going to actually have food, music. We're going to actually have possibly like yard games or something like that,
Yeah.
or
We'll get some
something that we can
cornhole in
actually
there.
do to, yeah, cornhole,
I actually
or
know a
you
guy who
know,
makes custom cornhole boards, and I think now that I think about it, I'm actually going to reach out to him. Maybe we can get
I
some
really want to bring
wicked
back
whiskey cornhole
jarts. I
boards.
don't care who you are, Gen X. I want to bring back jarts. Okay,
Yeah, right.
jarts. Have you ever heard of jarts?
You're going to have to
Because you're
explain
not
it
a
to me
Gen
because
Xer.
I'm a millennial.
Yeah, you're a millennial and all stuff. Jarts are basically darts,
Jorts, like
oversized
the cut off
darts.
jorts. Are you talking about?
Darts. Okay, jarts
Right.
are darts that are actually, you're supposed to throw them. You have a ring on the ground. You're supposed to throw them up in the air, and they're supposed, whoever lands in or around the actual closest to in the circle and all stuff wins. But because we are Gen Xers and we don't give a fuck, we used to actually throw them at each other.
I
And
was
these
going to
are
say it sounds
big.
kind of dangerous and very
They're
PC,
they're
and you
they're
probably couldn't
big
get away with
steel.
that.
They're outlawed in the United States. You cannot get them, but look them up. And
Yeah,
also
because people have probably
jarts.
been getting fucking pierced and killed.
Absolutely, 100%. Look it up.
100%.
I believe it
You're
because
not. We're
yeah,
not joking.
times
Look
have
it up.
changed.
Look it up. Jarts are a real thing, and I miss them, and I wish I could still have them because I would be throwing them at a lot of people. So it's you throw them up in the air, and then you actually hope that you actually threw it up in the right direction and not at somebody. But a lot of the
Right.
times they came straight down on top of you and got pierced in the shoulder, head, whatever. And yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
bad things happen.
I
But
can see why it's banned in the United States.
I think Gen
Makes
X are
sense.
the main reason why there's warning labels everywhere. So,
Don't drink this coffee. It's hot. Oh,
um,
really? Oh,
so
really?
we're let's get back to that and all stuff. So it is the date is set in stone. We don't have a rain date yet because if there's not a lot of people and all stuff, we can technically move inside. Um, so there's a capacity of the location of 80 people. So if it goes over 80 people, then we may have a problem. But if it's under 80 people and it starts raining, pouring, or whatever, we can move it inside. We will have tents outside. So if it's drizzling and all stuff, or like just a passing little quick thing, we're probably not going to cancel it.
Right.
But it will make a little bit of a mess of things. But um, yeah, there's other than that, we have, Matt's actually already talked about the bottles. We're gonna probably have like burgers and dogs.
Yep.
We'll probably have like regular sodas and things like that for people who don't drink, and
Yep.
for those that do actually like partake in spirits or whatever. We're gonna have small flights that are gonna be, maybe about 3/4 of ounce or to an ounce or
Yeah.
whatever
Right.
just because we want to be responsible, because we know you're driving distances to actually get here. We don't want you like drinking and driving, but
Like
at
we
that
said,
same note,
we don't want drinking and
but
driving. We want
yeah,
everyone
we
to
don't
be
want any.
safe and leave, with their
But at the
licenses.
same
Not.
point, if you don't want to actually have anything that we're actually like putting outside,
But yeah,
VFW
they've
does
got
have a
sodas. Yeah, it's a
the
VFW.
VFW actually.
They got drinks. They got water. We'll have waters. We'll have sodas. We'll
Yeah.
have stuff like
But
that. And
at the same time, to actually support the VFW that are actually supporting us,
yeah,
they have a bar inside too. So you can actually go in and actually get, a regular, like Jack and Coke or something like that if you want, and all stuff
right,
there. There is actually going to be a bar. So if you want to support them, you can actually go over and actually like buy something at the bar. It is not sponsored by us. That's their bar. That's their thing. So,
right.
be courteous that this is actually still a place of business and all stuff for the VFW. We're just, using their space and their hospitality.
And to add to that, if anybody's still following and listening and here with
Nobody's
us,
listening, but they can go back and
they
re-record
can
or
go
skip
back.
ahead or skip
Right.
back or whatever. So
If anyone's still here with us, we do need sponsors. I don't want to say we're set with bottles and donations yet, because I'm not going to say no to more. Obviously, the more the better, because the more we can give and get tickets for and stuff. But we're looking for sponsors because again, we're going to need food. We're going to need porta potties. We're going to need to pay for the permits, the insurances. And if not, it comes out of pocket, and then that takes away kind of from the whole point of this and the fundraiser. Because then obviously we got to get reimbursed and stuff, because it's expensive, man. It could cost thousands of dollars if it's just coming out of pocket without help, and if we all come together and we all pitch in, it makes everything easier, and then it's allowing us to give the most to John and my sister and the family, and the whole point of this fundraiser, is to give to them so they can get the financial struggle off of their shoulders, and not worry so much about how they're going to get by, because I've said it before. This is not a cheap disease. It's $200,000 to $300,000 a year to take care of somebody with ALS. And again, the supplies don't stop. They constantly need medicine and foods and special, care packages.
everything from wipes to sheets to
Exactly.
everything and all stuff
So,
it all adds up, and it is actually like something that
if you want to donate, if you want to sponsor, if you want to give us money, whatever, you know what I mean? Just give us a shout, give us a DM, and we'll add you to the list. I got a whole thing of notes written down, and we'll figure it out. But anything is appreciated, just as long as it's not like a bottle of Malort or something like that. Then you can just.
no, we'll put that in there. I'm going to
We
supply
would
that.
though.
I'm supplying that.
I was actually gonna say is I know it's not allowed at the VFW because we can't pop bottles and stuff, but maybe afterwards, everything's all said and done, Some of the people that are coming out, like Rob, I told him already.
Well, they're part of the Wicked Whiskey
part of the Wicked
Society.
Whiskey. I told
They
Rob
actually they're going to actually have to get the initiation.
they're gonna have to get the
So.
initiation. So a lot of the people that are coming down, two fools, one bourbon. I know they're coming down. Rick House B, Jesse. You're all gonna get the Malort. So be prepared to fuck your palates up. Drink what you want to
I
drink
don't know.
beforehand.
I'm thinking that the last few people that actually did the Malort and all stuff didn't actually like take it that bad. So I think we may actually have to change it up and do Garrison Brothers. I think that's worse.
How about we make a cocktail of Garrison Brothers with Malort?
Yeah, we could do that, and we'll make
Something.
we'll zhuzh it up and all that stuff, and I'll
We'll
throw
make a
some like
potion.
green chartreuse in it or something and all stuff just to give it the
We'll throw
Flirty
some. We'll
weirdness.
throw some pure French oak in it too.
We'll finish it in a French oak barrel, or I'll go and buy some French oak staves and we'll throw it in there.
Oh yeah, some rye.
Because
Some
you like
heavy
the
draft
staves,
rye.
not the barrels, right?
Right. Also some very forward peated Balcones
Rise.
ryes.
Balcones Rise that's finished in
Walnut tires.
heated Scotch barrels.
Walnut tire staves. We'll just
Yeah, sure.
throw tons of fucking rubber tires in it.
Pallets.
Yeah, man.
Let's go back to the beginning. It's all about pallets.
Pallets. It is. That's what this whole episode was about.
Yeah. So, again, this was just shooting the shit. We wanted to actually like talk about something. Again, we haven't been like on every week like we want to be because life happens and we've been busy doing things. So we're trying to actually like at least get one podcast a week, and then Matt does a bunch of Instagram videos and things like that. I know you have a couple of them coming out, or if not already done. So
I did a bottle kill one this earlier before they got you on here. Over the weekend I went to Maine with a bunch of my buddies and I introduced them to a couple of bottles, like the Weller Full Proof, which they loved. It's good. I love the Full Proof out of all the Wellers anyways, but we killed that. I killed a bottle of Jack Daniel's Bonded Rye. I made a bunch of old fashions with that. I actually killed a whole bottle of the Demerara syrup, Dan's Thinkorswim syrup. Actually, a bottle and a half. I'm sorry.
I'm getting low on the original batch 3.
I killed the original. I went through a half of the maple. I'm gonna have to get another one, and then he's coming out with the blood orange one for us. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's giving it to the guys. Basically the guinea pigs because it was a small batch. But I killed a bottle of Havana, and I think a bottle of Stag. It was a good weekend.
Wow.
I got that video coming.
That's a good weekend. It's a bottle kill weekend right there.
Yeah, I mean they weren't full bottles, so we weren't fucking going ham like that.
Yeah.
But we did some damage, and
I'm almost about to actually finish this one.
I know, dude. I've done some damage myself on this.
Yeah.
Again, I'm glad I got a backup, but yeah.
All right. Anything else that's coming up that you want to talk about? Stay tuned.
That's kind of it, I got this cool bottle at the Reveries seminar we did at Burlington Wine and Spirits, which is actually a French oak barrel, and I loved it. So again, to your palates, how they change and they evolve, and shout out to Jay West. This is an awesome
Not just
bottle.
that, is when we were into the seminar, there wasn't actually a bad bottle in his lineup that was there.
There really wasn't. They were,
and I have
really
to
good.
actually say again, we're going to go back to the whole rye thing. The very last bottle that he actually did was the 10-year or the Riveries rye that's coming out eventually. That was actually damn good.
That was really good.
I even told him and all stuff. It's a rye that I can get behind because I'm not normally into ryes that are actually like minty whatever and all stuff. And this didn't have any of that. This was very sweet candy like, and it was It was actually damn good, and I've not had a bad bottle from Riveries or from Jay West, from any of his picks as take. Um, he's he does a good job, and I can't wait to actually like see a little bit more from him. I would love to, again in the talks with possibly doing a barrel pick with him, which will be cool. But we'll see. So enjoy your French oak that you don't like.
Right. And enjoy that Reveries Rye when it comes out and you get it that you hate.
I will, because I will get it.
I will too. That was a really good pour.
I have some ryes that I really don't like, but it's not that I don't. I have them because I will drink them. I have them so other people can drink them, because I do know a lot of people that love ryes.
real
So I have ryes.
real quick, another bottle that I did not like, and this is probably an unpopular opinion. E.H. Taylor. I don't think they're good. I really don't. And I think the small batch is what really threw me off. Then again, it's a small batch, so some might be good, some might not be
I mean,
good.
it's
Um,
I'm
I
not going to
I
say that that's wrong because
I,
um
I
because
cracked this over the weekend with my boys, and this is the 127.4 proof, and I've actually heard things that this bottle was good, and I'm actually really happy with this bottle. It was like nothing but like green
that's the
apple.
foolproof. Yeah.
Yeah, the barrel proof.
I don't remember which ones I have. What batch is that? Do you know?
I'm not sure what batch. Um, I know. Yeah, I'm not good with the because I don't
Well,
get a
were you
full
here
too
when
much.
we actually cracked the two different ones that came out
Yeah.
for
So this
2025, and
ended up
one was
being the
good,
one
one
that
wasn't?
Ian. This ended up being the one that Ian liked because the one he had he wasn't a fan of, and this is the one that he
Yes.
actually liked.
And so the one that I had was the one that he liked.
And I don't know
Okay.
if it says the batch on here, but I know it's the 127.4 proof. It's not. I think it's either last year or the year before.
I don't know. Let
But
me
yeah,
look.
this ended up being one of the favorite ones, and this was actually a really good pour. So again, your palate changes, and you appreciate things you don't like more
Yeah,
over
that's
time.
127.4.
Yeah, that was a dude. That's a damn good pour. So if you guys
See,
ever come across this one, I would recommend it.
that is a good pour. I personally like E.H. Taylor's, but I actually get it because I've given E.H. Taylor's to other people and they've not liked it. They've actually rather drink Woodford Double Oak than actually one of those. And
Mm.
I get it. It's all about your palate. And
Yeah.
me personally, I don't mind E.H. Taylor. Even the small batches and all stuff, they're not the greatest, but they're not like crap. They're
I've been
decent,
just giving mine
well
away.
made. But
Like I'm almost out of it, and I don't want to say I can't wait till it's gone, but I'm not gonna miss
I
it.
I have more for you if you want. I have actually tubes. I
And
have
maybe I'll
more.
grab another one later on down the road if it's a different batch or something. But I didn't like
Now
the
it's
one I
just
had.
small batch, but did you try the single barrels or the any of the other
So
ones?
yeah, I got a single barrel, I got a straight rye, and then I got the barrel proof. And the single barrel proof, the single barrel that I have, I actually tried and I actually liked it. So
So I think you just don't like the small batch.
I think that's probably what it is.
I think it's the small batch, which is it's very basic and all that stuff. Once you get into the single barrels or you get into the barrel proofs, then you get that actually the better flavors. And you get the something a little bit more to it.
Again, it's a higher proof, so
But
I think I just like higher
well,
proof.
most the single barrels. I thought small batch single barrels were all 100 proof.
The
They're all
barrel
bottle and
proof, this is
bonds.
127, and I'm
Well,
pretty
barrel
sure.
proofs. I'm not talking about the barrel proof. Barrel proof
Oh, the
is
single
is
barrels.
different.
I thought the single barrels. Oh,
This
hold on, let me see. So I can read it from here without taking it down.
I got it here. I thought they were bottle and bonds. So
I don't know about the single barrel being a bottle and bond, but I know.
yeah, it says bottle and bond, so it has to be 100 proof.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, so most of E.H. Taylor's, that was the whole history of them and all stuff, is they were one of the ones that actually like started the whole bottle and bond process.
Well,
So
either way,
most
this is
of
a good
theirs,
pour.
yeah, they're good
And
pours.
that's kind of all I got for this podcast. I don't know if you got
Yeah,
anything
so
else.
no,
Close the book.
again, stay tuned for more that's actually coming up with us. Stay tuned to like more podcasts where we actually tell Matt that he's wrong. Um, um,
Next
we'll
episode,
try.
John comes out that he's a rye guy.
Yeah. Maybe we'll actually have more guests on, maybe new or like other members of our group to actually like come in and talk. We still haven't had one of the co-founders on yet, so I would love to actually do that.
Get Adam
Get
in here.
Adam
Yep.
on. And then I know throughout our podcast you've seen here and there and all stuff, or in videos, you've guys have seen other members or core members of the group actually like show up in the videos too. So we would like to actually get a little bit more participation with them
Introduce you to the groups, yeah. I know
yeah.
some of the guys are camera shy. They got they got a face for radio, as they say. So
Yeah.
some of them you won't
Well,
see.
so
Some
don't
of
I.
them.
So that's why if you really want to actually enjoy these podcasts and all stuff, watch them on Spotify because that's audio.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for episode 7, where me and John went head to head about French oak and ryes and our palates. Even though he's wrong and he'll say I'm wrong.
I schooled you, and you were actually just sad that I schooled you on it.
You
So
did
whatever.
you did you did correct me on a few things. Besides the fact that French oak still kind of sucks. But everybody, be good to your families. Take care of your friends, and as always,
It's more than what's in the glass.
cheers.
Cheers.